Now that our colonists have landed, we're going to want to issue some orders to get them busy doing the things that they need to do to build the colony. Issuing orders is basically the mechanism by which our colony is played, and orders are simply directions that you give to colonists to accomplish some kind of goal. The first thing that we'll want to get them started doing is digging a mine shaft so they can mine resources. Mining mineral resources is one of the most important primary industries in our colony, and it's something that you'll want to start doing right away. So the way to start mining resources is to take a look at the Z levels underneath where we've landed and see where there are good concentrations of things that will be valuable to us. So we can see that the elevation here starts at 58. I'll switch to a Z level view of 58. I can toggle show elevation off because I don't need to see the numbers. But I'll start scrolling down through Z levels until I find something interesting. Once I've found a layer that contains something other than just dirt or a default sort of tile content, I'll use the inspection tool to click on a location and see what's there. So this is bituminous coal, which is a very useful sort of chemical fuel, and we'll keep going down and exploring what's underneath us. This is oil shale, also very useful, especially good for hydrocarbon refineries. This is cobaltite. This is a sort of ore that can be refined into cobalt and nickel, a very valuable kind of ore that yields a couple of very useful metals. More cobaltite at 46, and we'll keep going down until we've identified everything that we want to. This is an area that's very rich in cobaltite and magnetite. Magnetite is another particularly useful sort of ore. You can get both iron and carbon from it, which are the two constituent components of steel, which is something that we'll probably want to refine a bit later on. And if we go all the way down to Z level 19, we can see that this layer contains quartz-bearing rock. Two of the most important sorts of mineral resources that you'll want to get are ores that can be refined into elemental metals and ores that can be refined into metalloids. And quartz-bearing rock, when refined, is going to yield silicon, which we'll need in a number of manufacturing processes. So we know that there are a bunch of resources that are between the level that we're on and all the way down to Z level 19. So what we're going to want to do is build a mine shaft that extends down to this level so that our colonists can go and mine all of these different sorts of ores that we'll want. The way to issue a mine shaft construction order, you'll start by clicking on the mine tool for issuing dig orders here, and this clicking on some of these tools will bring up other sorts of tools related to the one that you've selected. In this case, we have a tool for issuing a mine shaft construction meta order, and we have a level terrain meta order tool. Meta orders are just orders that consist of one or more sub orders. In this case, digging a mine shaft will automatically create all the orders necessary to both dig vertically down to a specified Z level and to build all of the stairwells necessary for the shaft. So, with this tool selected, we can click on a location and specify the bottom Z level that we want them to dig down to. In this case, we want them to get down to 19, where the quartz-bearing rock concentration is. Click the OK button, and then when we unpause the game, we'll see that one of our colonists will start work. He digs out a tile, and if we show elevation, we can see he dug that out there, and then they'll be building stairs on their way down. Now, if we click this megaphone icon in the toolbar, this will bring up the View and Edit Orders dialog, and this is where all the orders are managed that have already been issued. You can use this to see what sort of things you've set your colonists about doing. In this case, because they're digging a mine shaft, there are a bunch of construction orders for building stairs all the way down and area mined orders to dig out those locations. If you want, you can do a number of things in this interface, and one of the most important ones is to rescind selected orders. So you can multi-select a bunch of orders and rescind them, which means that your colonists are no longer going to pursue those. So if you've issued an order by accident that you don't like, let's say I didn't want them to dig this mine shaft, I could just select one of these, hit Control-A like you would in any application, and then rescind all of the selected orders, which will get rid of them. The other important thing that you can do is adjust the order priority of the selected orders. And order priority helps control which things your colonists do first and which things they save for later. Since digging this mine shaft is a very important endeavor, I'm going to raise this above the default order priority of 1, and I'm going to set all of these orders to 5, so that at some point, so that no matter what orders I issue, by default, these colonists are going to be working on the mine shaft construction as the most important thing. So they're chugging away here, and we can see how deep they've gotten. If we look at level 57, they made it that far, and we keep going down, and we see them making their way down to Z level 19. So that's how the mineshaft order is, construction orders are issued, and we'll move on to deploying machinery and building more of our colony next.